I just wanted to take a minute to introduce you to these two pussycats who are tending to run away a little bit. They came with the house, and this is Paddington, who's refusing to play, and this is Bluebell. I don't know if they're male or female, because we haven't got to touch them that much or get to know them that much, but there's Paddington now. They're starting to tolerate me, but they came with the house, so I said I'd keep them and feed them and look after them. So these are my pussycats. So it's another beautiful morning here at Ivy Cottage. The rain has gone away, thank God. Since last night when I was taking down the porch, it was a little difficult. I've got a trailer here and I'm going to load it up with all this waste timber that I've pulled off the roof, both off the porch and from the upstairs of the house. I'm trying to keep this yard just a little bit tidy as I go along. So we get this done and we'll be back in a while. This is where there was a big stack of timber before, all stacked up here, and I've put it in the trailer and taken it away. It's cost about €30 to get rid of that whole trailer load of timber, which is very good. If you can compare a skip, it might take 3 loads of that trailer, would cost in the region of €240 if I was lucky. So it's a great way of getting rid of the timber. That's going to go away to a recycling facility, and it's going to be ground up and then taken away in trucks, and that's normally turned into things like those heat logs that you buy in the supermarkets, wrapped in paper. So it's gone to a good place, and there'll be a few more loads of timber coming here to Ivy Cottage off for recycling as we go along. I've been trying to take down the walls of this porch, but the concrete is extremely dense. I'm just holding up a little bit there for you. I'd say, I don't know, is it an old block or is it poured, but it's extremely dense and the hammer's just bouncing off it. So I've bought that new Kango. It's time to try it out. So that's hard work, taking out those walls. It is old concrete block, that's what it's coming out as now in full pieces, but it's hard work breaking it, so using the Kango hammer and a mixture of the sledgehammer seems to be doing the trick. So we keep going for a while. So I've managed to do the job here. The walls are out and the floor is out also, and I have to say it was an absolute dream to do. I used this, the Ferrex, which is an Aldi 1900 watt Kango hammer, and I didn't even have to lean on it. If you just let the weight of the Kango hammer do it, all you have to do is just bear the weight of it, lifting it up and down to the next section. But it breaks the concrete all itself. An absolutely fantastic buy. If you do decide that in the future you want to go and renovate a house and you think you do need a Kango hammer, if Aldi don't have one, you can get one of these. It's called a Shepak AB1900. That's an AB1900 from Shepak. I'm pretty convinced it's the same tool. You can have a look yourselves and see what you think, but this makes work easy. It's powerful enough, and it's more powerful than the 1600 watts versions that are only giving 45 joules at the head. This is giving 60 joules of energy into the ground, and it's just breaking concrete like butter. Now it is still hard physical work, but it's definitely easier than a hammer and chisel, that's for sure. So at this stage I've got rubble just here beside me. I've got rubble from the porch, and I also have rubble that I've dug out of the shed, so it's starting to mount up. I haven't ordered a skip yet because I knew it would take an amount of time to get the different sections taken out, the smaller sections that I'm demolishing. So having a skip here for that length of time isn't fair towards the skip provider. So I just want to get one and load it up in 1 or 2 days and get them to take it away again. So the next step is to take down this little extension here behind me. I'm going to start working on that soon. I'm going to leave the rubble where it is. I can transport it easier. There's no point in moving it to a central location and then into the skip. I may as well just move it straight into the skip. So that's the next step as far as the rubble goes. But yeah, I've done the front porch now. That's done as far as I can do it. And the next step is to get up on the roof and start taking the slates off that, and we'll start taking it down. This is the flat roof. Well, it is a pitched roof, but It's not quite pitched enough on the side extension of the left hand side of the house. And I stripped off the slates now. It's taken about an hour. I just wanted to show you while you're up here. Although the roof looked reasonable and it was flat and it wasn't bowed in any way, it has been here a while. And as you can see, the felt is quite perished. And all along here there's holes, so all the water and dampness that would run down the felt would be running straight inside. So this needed to be replaced anyway, but it just goes to show, just if something looks okay, it may not be okay. So maybe take off one or two slates and have a little look, see what's underneath, and if you're not happy, you can always re-roof. So I'm going to take off the battens now, take off the felt. I'm going to start taking off the roof. It's been 2 days since I've had the camera out at Ivy Cottage. The weather's been a bit poor, so I decided I'd take it out this morning. It's a beautiful sunny day. I spent a couple of evenings after work working here, just removing some of the rubble and kangoing out the rest of the floor of the porch here, and using my trusty Kango hammer. And it's gone well. It's all cleared away now, all the rubble's taken away, and I've gone and got a skip, which I'll show you next. So here's my first skip. It's quite a bit of money to rent one of these, or to, I suppose rent is the word, but get one and fill it up. So this is the first of one of many, and it's just worth bearing in mind and keeping track of how much you are spending and what needs to go and when it needs to go in the skip. The longer you keep one of these things, the longer it costs. So you get a week for the basic price, and after that then it adds up. There's an extra charge per week, there's an extra charge for overloading it, and if you completely overload it and the truck can't lift it, they'll just leave it behind, and that creates another scenario. Just to my left here, you'll see the old water trough that was there is demolished. That's inside there along with the contents of the porch, and all the rubble that I took out of the shed is also in the skip as well. So it's pretty much full up at this stage and ready to go. The yard is looking a bit cleaner here. All the rubble that was here from the contents of the shed that I cleaned out, that's all in the skip as well. It's all rubble, so it can all go in together. Still got the metal, which I must recycle, and I've still got the timber that I took off the roof of the shed, the old rotten timber, still there. So I'm going to chop that up next. I sent 2 loads of timber down to the recycling centre already, so that was €30 a load to get rid of that. But with the 3 loads that I'm going to bring down there, that would have been the contents of a skip. That's cost me €90, say, by the time of the 3rd load down, compared to probably €250 or €290 for a skip full of wood. So it's made economical sense, and the recycling centre isn't too far away from here. So that's how far we've got. That's the next thing on my mind now, is to clear away the metal, chop up the wood, get it ready to go, and I've got some recycling over here, electrical appliances, which obviously you can recycle for free. Just being conscious of the recycling can help just save that small bit of money, and if you save, you know, €100 or €200 now, it's €100 or €200 you have later on for a different job. So it might sound a little bit scanty, but it's about keeping ahead of your costs and keeping costs down. The next step is to take down this extension at the side of the house, and I'm just going to put the rubble aside until it's time to order a new skip. Right here, you might notice on the ground is the old garden wall that ran between the front wall and the edge of the house. I cut hold of the top of it and gave it a little rock, and it wasn't stable at all. In fact, it was ready to come down, so with a little bit of a pull, it just fell over. So it's here on the ground, ready to go into a skip when I order the next one. But for the moment, at least it can't fall any further. It's here on the ground, ready to go, and it's not going to cause anyone injury. I've spent another day here at Ivy Cottage, and today's mission was to get rid of as much waste as I possibly could from the site. I built up a lot of scrap metal. I had some other waste that couldn't be segregated into any other category other than just waste, and I had some carpets in the house here that I had to get rid of as well. I also have had a skip here, and I've got rid of all the concrete waste from the side extension and from the porch at the front. And also I've driven a couple of trailer loads of timber down to the recycling centre, which isn't, it's about 10 minutes away from here, it's not too far away from here. So up on the wall here I've written, which you probably can't see, I've written down what I've spent so far on getting rid of waste. And as I said, there is a cost to getting rid of all the waste on the site and getting back to the point, the 0 point where you've stopped demolishing and you're starting to rebuild, and there is a significant cost in getting that far. So far I've had 2 trailer loads of timber costing €60. I've had a skip for rubble, €295. I had a trailer load of metal, which only required the entrance fee. To get rid of metal is free, or you can actually make a few euro out of it if you bring it to a scrapyard, but I'm too far away to make that economical. So that was €3. I got rid of all the carpets in the trailer as well, that was €50. And I had a trailer full of waste, which was the old broken bath, sinks, things like that, buckets and bits of waste that were left out the back of the house that I've brought down for down to the dump. So far the total is €438 that I've spent to get this far. And in a minute I'll bring you outside and show you what I have done, and I think I've done quite well when you consider all the carpets are out of the house, all the kitchen, the bathroom, any bits of furniture, all the electrical fires and things like that have been recycled as well. Outside then the front porch is gone, there's a bit of a wall knocked down, and the side porch is on the way down as well. And I've also dug out the garage. It was obviously all full of concrete and bits and pieces and animal pens and that sort of thing, so that's all tidied out as well. So to get that far on so little money is pretty good. There will be more skips going forward. We're going to have in the region of between 7 and 10 skips. So what I did was, at a cost of €295 for a skip, I said maybe there's something better I can do there, knowing that I need between 7 and 10 of them. So I rang the skip company and he's agreed to give me a bit of a discount from the standard price if I get rid of all my waste there. So that should help a little bit. The skips that I get are the standard 6 cubic metre skip, and the reason for that is I am filling them full of rubble, and if you get one of the bigger skips, the skip lorry can't lift one of those skips full of rubble, it's just too heavy, so I have to stick with the 6 cubic metre skip. And as I said, the owner of the skip company has decided to give me a discount since I'm using quite a few skips to get rid of all the rubble out of this house. And as I said, the floors have to come out, the side porches come down, there's quite an amount of rubble, and I'll show you outside in the skip. It's amazing how such a small wall can take so much room in a skip, and there's other things that are coming down, like this chimney breast is going to come down, and that in itself is going to fill a few skips, so it will add up. But hopefully we get to that point where we get to the point where we stop demolishing things and stop taking things out and start building, and that'll be an exciting moment in this build. Right, here's the 6 cubic metre skip that I've hired from the local skip company, and already it's half full just from taking down one wall of this extension that's behind the camera, which I'll show you in a moment. This is obviously, as I said, the second one, so there's €295 gone, and as I said, I've made a deal with them, so here's the second one. They're not long filling up, so I'll show you the extension next. This is the side porch or utility room as it was used for, which I've taken this wall out here. There used to be a wall just across here, and that's out, and that's the one that's in the skip at the moment, half filling the skip. So it makes sense that if I take down this wall behind me, that's going to be the second half of the skip, and that skip is going to be full, and we're going to have to take that away and start on a new one. So that's one of the next jobs that I have to do. I had a lot of waste just behind the wall, behind this wall here, and it was in the way, and there comes a point in a build when you have to stop what you're doing and tidy up, because if you just keep making a mess, it just gets unsafe and unworkable. So that was today's mission, was to stop, get rid of the waste, tidy everything up, and now I'm in a position that I can carry on again. So earlier on today, the metal that I had stacked here, I brought down to the recycling centre, so that's gone now. And last week I had a pile of rubble just there, quite a large pile, that went into a skip earlier on in the week, and that's gone as well. So now this yard is quite clear, and over to my left hand side I had a big pile of waste, the old bath and the sink and all the other bits and pieces that I had all stacked up that I couldn't recycle. and that's also gone. So this yard is now clear and I'm ready to take on the next task. So just by spending a few evenings working here, I've got all that work done, just a few hours each night, and little bits can make a big difference, especially if you're working and you don't have time to do this all the time. Just taking a few hours, they add up, hours add into days, and days add into a lot of work getting done.